Okay. Hi, everyone. Hello, Miss Nilechi. How are you? Gorgeous, gorgeous woman. Do you know you're a very, very gorgeous, absolutely drop dead gorgeous lady? I'm like, for real. Like, I don't think you know how really beautiful you are. And no, I'm not trying to patronize her. She just really go on her page and see. She is a very beautiful lady. It's a red day today. I'm telling you, I was feeling myself like, and then all you know, I had this new moisturizer I tried that's really making my skin really good. I was like, okay, 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 maybe I can catch a man today. Hi, everyone. Hi, Mr. Professor. How are you? Come on in, say hello, come on in, say hello. Yeah, let's try to make this short because, hi, Miss Mazala. How are you? If Miss, let me see, what's her name? Iyabo. So that's a common name. If Miss Iyabo's watching me, your case kept me up till I'm not kidding y'all. Her case kept me up till 4 a.m. I went to bed 4:16 a.m. this morning, and I got up at 6 a.m. because I had to take my child to school. So if I say something, hello, Mr. Henry, you're welcome. You are a very drop dead gorgeous lady. I'm telling you. So if I say something that I doesn't make sense, just bear with me. And I've been going nonstop since 6. So Miss Yabo, please pray for us that we find favor in that case because, oh, Lord have mercy. I didn't go to bed till 4. Like I literally got on my bed at 4:16 a.m. and I set my alarm for 6 a.m. So can we say, and I hardly drink coffee, but can we say thank God for coffee? Thank God because, woo! But no court today. So it was a relaxed, dressed down day, yeah. But anyway, welcome in. So when you get to the end of the day when you've been on and you rush and you're now winding down, it's like okay, it's time to wind down. But anyway, welcome in. If you are just seeing this coming up and you were scrolling and you on just scrolling through social media and you're like Tanya Auntie, don't need black and white here. We come together every Tuesday and Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to talk all things immigration, to encourage one another. I am Attorney Abisola Adebola Olaleye. Omo Baba Sam. Hey, Miss Lucy, immigration attorney. We are based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states, but we represent immigration clients in all states. It doesn't matter what state you live in. Got immigration case. If it's a case that we handle, we can and do represent immigration clients no matter where you are. Let me put this away. Okay. So come on in, say hello. Let's know where you're joining in from, what state, what city, how the kids, Miss Lucy, what country, because we have people joining us from other countries. And talking about country, one of my Jamaican clients, Miss S, because her name is very unique. People would know her. Miss S got her green card approved. I was literally driving home and got the notification. It's a VAW based green card. I know she was worried since we got the VAW petition approved last year. Was one of those we converted to VAW cases. Hi, Mr. Sanctuary. It's a red day, yeah. We converted to a VAW case, so we had the I-485 being held in abeyance at the Atlanta field office, and I think we did the medical back in October, I want to say. So if your case is similar to that, you just have to give it time. VAW is not for the faint of heart. It's not. If you are not someone who has some degree of patience and you're ready for your patience to be tested to the highest level, you cannot do VAW. Just don't bother, because there's nothing any attorney is going to do besides help you to expedite. If you've got a basis to expedite, not everybody can just expedite the case. If not, so congratulations to Miss S. She's from Jamaica. So if you are from Jamaica and you're joining us, and you're wondering, can you help anyone from, or because you live in Atlanta, I have quite a number of Jamaican Caribbean clients, really. My client base, Africans and Caribbeans, to be honest. And then I have Indian clients. I hardly have any other. Yeah, it is what it is. But anyway, we'll be glad to represent you. Call us at 334-341-4475. Visit our website at olalayalawfirm.com. Let's talk immigration, y'all. We're going to do questions tonight because my brain couldn't think of anything that we want to talk about tonight. And it's the good thing is this is the third It's like every third night. So this is the third night of our topic. So let's just do questions because I've already thought about I've thought about everything I can possibly think about today. The brain is not braining. So let's leave it alone. The brain is not braining. We're going to leave it alone. So put your questions in the comment section and we'll go through as many as we can. Yes, we thank you, Mr. Sanctuary. Representing immigration clients in all 50 states. 334-341-4475, olalayalawfirm.com, at Olale Immigration, on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will be very glad and happy if you would subscribe and share, like, follow. All of that would be very much appreciated. Hey, Miss Abena, how are you? Welcome, 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 everybody. So come on in. Let's wait for you to populate your questions. So this is time to get your questions answered for free. It's nothing specific to anyone's case. Nothing specific. It's just general responses. If you want something specific to your case, you've got to schedule a paid consultation. Someone called my office today and said, why do we charge? I don't know why people do that. You already know the information is right there on our website. I say it every single time. Why call to ask my staff, why is she charging? Why can't she do it for free? You know when you say not today, not today, not nice. Get them behind me saying not today. That was fun. Ashanti was like, what should I say? She didn't ask me. She goes, well, what are we going to do? We ain't going to do nothing. And it's not going to be today. I said, not today. Like you and the client, not today. Not today. Okay, that Yoruba is beyond my excellency for Christ. Don't be fooled by the Yoruba díẹ̀ tí mo sọ. Mo lè sọ, but tó bá ti di ọ̀rọ̀ pé èèyàn ń kà yẹn, no. Have you heard my story about where they asked us to do ìfètòsọ́mọ bíbí back in SSC exam or whatever that is called, and I did child christening? Because for the life of me, if my life depended on trying to interpret what is and read Yoruba language, kind of thing. So just break it down in English and just use one sentence at a time. Then I will be able to. So that Yoruba question is not going to be answered because I have no clue what the hell you just wrote. So please break it down and so that I can understand it. But anyway, so once again, if you are coming in, put your questions in the comment section. And I'll do my best to answer as many questions as possible. So let's get started so we can maximize the time. Okay. Iram, thank you. Hello. Following you for a while. Thank you, Adebayo. I really appreciate that. Joining from Florida. Thank you. Appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so I think people are still just joining on Facebook and YouTube. Let me start on Instagram today. So, and very question, senior money. You didn't answer my question. Here we are. Let's get it. Oh, by the way, just so you know, let me even see what the update is. Does anybody know what are the arguments still ongoing? Birthright. I've been following that thing like my life depends on it. Birthright, citizenship, Supreme Court. Let's see. Why they are being divided on? Why they divide? What is the division on it? Although Mama okay. My concern is just that we have a majority, Republican majority Supreme Court. That would just be a big blow, I'm telling you. Okay, so it's still ongoing. I'm trying to see. Right, put a continuity in front of the. Anyway, but so basically, we're waiting on that. We're waiting on that's the highly anticipated decision of the century of this. Because if he's allowed to and just a reminder of what they're trying to do, the executive order is not implementing any new law. what the executive order is saying is they're saying that they're executing what the Constitution is saying. So what the task the Supreme Court has before it is to interpret what the Constitution says. Is it saying that subject to its jurisdiction doesn't mean that it's talking about the child itself, or is it talking about the parent of the child that is born on U.S. soil? And if that parent is subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, and if someone's subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, if they are not documented, meaning at the very least they are not a legal permanent resident, is someone who is on a temporary work visa or a student visa and has a child, would that person be considered to be subject to the jurisdiction of the United States? My position on this is this. If you're saying that someone who is like on an H-1B work visa is not subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, and based on that, then any child they have cannot acquire citizenship by birth, then it should also mean that if that person commits a crime, since they're not subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, then you should not have any standing to prosecute that person for the crime, in spite of it being committed on U.S. soil. That's just, you can't have it both ways, but we're just waiting to see how it goes. If these people come back and they side with this guy, y'all, I don't know what else they wouldn't do, but we're just going to wait and see. So that's the one thing I just want you guys to be aware of, that the argument for the birthright citizenship is ongoing. It's Supreme Court actually hardly hear arguments in May. They hardly do that. But I guess because this is just a pressing issue, so fingers crossed. I have a vow petition 27 months. My husband was a citizen, but I do the vow without I-45. I have a removal. Do you think it's okay? Do I think what is okay? What is okay? The vow itself, or you been what exactly is your question about thinking it's okay? I need you to expatiate on that. Okay, let's see. So let's see. Mr. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕, good evening. How are you? Olive Beauty Empire, good evening. I miss watching your live because of work schedule. That's okay, Miss Mazala. I know, because that's true. I haven't seen, but thank you for catching up today. Listen, you got to pay the bills. we got to pay the bills. We got to pay the bills. Good evening, Mr. Henry. How are you? Bills got to be paid. Bills got to be paid. Hello, Mr. in the Sanctuary, the president of the Last Born Association. And the vice president is Ms. Abena. Y'all come get your constituent TJ. I sent Ms. in the Sanctuary what he said, he posted on Instagram. So that's why some people don't let their kids go on Instagram, on social media. And before you release them, we don't judge. Like, there's nothing my kid posts on social media that I don't have access to, because he has a duplicate phone and every single thing I see it. And I didn't even know. I had to find out that Instagram has like kid whatever, so it notifies you about anything that your kid does, because you just never know. You can never be too careful on social media. Yeah. Is it possible to transfer my case with you? Just wondering, because my attorney isn't the best. See, I'm always careful about, and I'm not saying you're not, you that's your objective and your opinion, but I'm always very weary when people complain about their attorneys, because I'm playing devil's advocate, because I know the work that attorneys put in, and so sometimes there may be there may not be anything the attorney can do further. And you may just be frustrated because you're not getting things go as quickly as possible. That doesn't mean the attorney is not doing anything. But to answer your question, you can always transfer your case from one law firm to another. I've had people transfer from our law firm to another place. To each their own. Nobody knows everything, and everybody has their preference, and everybody has what ticks them off. So you can. But everyone has their procedure. So, for instance, I don't take over anyone's case until I have done a review of your record. And based on the review of your record is when I decide whether I'm taking your case or not. So just you need to be sure, if you have an attorney in mind, ask them what their procedure is in taking over cases. Thank you, Miss Endless Sanctuary. Miss Key Lloyd. Okay, Misky Lloyd. Hello. Um, Tamika underscore highly blessed. I love that username. Hello, Miss Abena. How are you? So, Excellency for Christ, can you break it down or translate it in English or just one sentence at a time? That would help me out. Y'all don't, if you want to judge, that's your on you. That's how I read my Yoruba language. I have good news for you. We'll send a message. Okay. Now I'm very, very anxious about that. I will be waiting. Send me the message. Let me see. Are you going to send me an email? Because you can't tell me you're going to send me a message and expect me to be waiting for the message. I'm too nosy for that. Where's the message? Where? Okay, I'll be waiting. Those of you that share everything with your friends but this video, let me ask you, are you a good friend? Thank you. Thank you. Will you be able to take a case that already has a lawyer 82 I-290B case? My lawyer isn't as active as I want. And then I-290B case that's already been started. No, that's not. I don't get involved in the middle of a case. If you're talking of transferring because you're about to file something, whatever. But no, not something that someone else has started. No, we don't do that. Shago Melis from Chicago. Thank you. Welcome. The NBC News people were not really clear. They were not really clear about what. So what do you want to, I can clarify what you want me to clarify for you. Or did I explain that already? I'll see if we have time. If you want to have if you have a question and you want me to put you, join you, bring you in the live, y'all just bear with me. My brain is tired. Let me know. We can do a quick consultation as long as you're okay. You don't have to show your face as it should. The I-290B has been open, but from the beginning, he never turned it on. Okay, so you filed an I-290B based on a denial of the underlying case. So the I-290B, when you say has been opened, meaning that the case that was denied has been reopened, and now you are working to take care of what should have been taken care of in the first place. Is that what you're saying? Busayo, welcome. Good evening as well. How can one check to see if there's any deportation order? Thank you. You can do a FOIA request. That's going to be a comprehensive way, but the shortest way is to go on the EOIR website and put in your alien number. And for the most part, EOIR is very quick in updating their system. So if you put in your alien number, if you're in immigration court or you have a pending case, it will bring up your number and where your case is pending. But it's not always that quick. So you can put it. That's the fastest way you can find out if you're on immigration court. They said they haven't gotten 5 no's or yes. There's no decision yet. But I guess that's their way of putting it. There's no decision as of right now. When I was just checking, and I've been all over the thing, they haven't. So they have to be it's got to be a majority of at least 5 people saying that the executive order is unconstitutional. If they say that it is not unconstitutional, meaning that's the right execution of the provision of the Constitution, then it's going to change. So, we're just going to have to wait and see. Okay, let's see. I'm going to come to TikTok 1 second. God bless you as well, King Quaker. Thank you. Do you think it's okay to do the I-45 in the same package? Well, you're not doing it in the same package because you've already filed the VA petition. So if you're asking if I think you should file the I-485 based on the VA petition, that's a decision you're going to have to make. Can you do that? Yes. I can't speak to your case because I don't know anything about your case. So this is just general information. But you can, even though, yes, you are in removal proceedings. And you can also file it with the EOR website. EOR, meaning file the I-485 with the courts. You're able to do that as well. But you can do with USCIS. The only thing is just that once the VA case petition has been approved, USCIS they probably will accept you. You may be able to get a work permit based on that, but they will not approve the I-485. They're going to administratively close it until your case is resolved in court, because they won't have jurisdiction to adjudicate your I-485. Please chat about VA complete timeline. What complete timeline are you asking for? The timeline is already on the USCIS.gov processing time website. So what other timeline are you looking for? Okay. Let's see. Hello, Mr. Phillips. How are you? Can I call or text you? I have a question. If you have a question, put your question in the comment section now. If you call or text our office, you will get some of my assistants will help you, but you would have to pay to get that question answered. So ask your question here. I'm in Indiana. Okay. Thank you for joining. It's been 10 months waiting for I-129F. That is still within normal person time. And it depends on what where it's the service center is processing your case. How can one stop a spouse from becoming a U.S. citizen? How can one stop a spouse from that? That's not the kind of case that I deal with. I help people become citizens. I don't help to stop them from becoming citizens. So I guess that's not a question I will be able to answer. How long can it take after submit an AOS application to get a receipt notice? If you're talking about, well, I can't tell you how long it's going to take as far as regular cases, but the one thing I'll be able to tell you, because we're seeing a lot of that, is for VA cases, it is taken. On Tuesday, I showed you a case we filed. They received it on February 14, and the notice date was May 6th. So that gives you, that gives you an idea how long it's taken them. But for AOS cases, I'm not seeing anything that is taking more than 3 weeks in my firm. It could be longer than that, but in my firm, I'm not seeing anything taking longer than that. My office is located in Alabama, but we represent immigration clients in all states. I already have a consultation with you on Monday, 12 p.m. Actually requested tomorrow. I don't think I have anything open. If it's not on my calendar, then I don't have any. I just show up. I show up on the day I review everything I'm supposed to. They just tell me, listen, I can't think beyond today. But I look forward to talking to you on Monday. Monday, before you know, Monday is here. It's just it's Friday. Because no, before like work day at least. So I'll talk to you chocolates on Monday. Is it safe to travel? Anything about travel? Ask your attorney. Joining from Alabama. Oh, you're right. Okay, you're right. I'm in my neck of the woods. Okay. All right. Where in Alabama? Chocolates. Where in Alabama are you? Did you speak to someone in my office, or you went through our website? What city are you in? What city? What town? Can you file? Can you still file for asylum after entering 8 years ago? If you have a reason, if you've got facts and evidence to support the fact that you fall within one of the exemptions of filing outside the 1 year statutory period, that would include changes in country conditions, changes in personal circumstances, extraordinary circumstances beyond your control, things like that. And it's it's pretty. You've got to be very, very specific, and you have enough evidence to support that. Can we do that after 5 p.m.? No, there's anything. If the time is not available in my calendar, then it's not available. That's the thing. No. So there's no, we don't make, unless it's absolutely necessary. I think I've only done that maybe on the weekend, and I will charge you twice what, because that's going to be an inconvenience for me. But I don't even do that anymore because my brain needs to rest. I just stopped doing that. So if it's not on the calendar, then we just don't have that time available. What is the average processing time for I-130 now? USCIS.gov/processing time. If you apply for asylum, and can you please not repeat questions? Coco, I was going to read your question, but I see that you repeated it like at least 6 times, so I'm going to skip it. All right. So let's just keep going, and that's still your question going and going. Okay. Okay, that's same one. And you actually almost 20 times. Okay. Will an AOS application be expedited if you're married to a military spouse? It's not going to be automatically expedited, but you can request to expedite it based on married to someone, especially someone who is going to be deployed or is in deployment. Those are reasons that we've actually used to expedite, and that's actually one of the factors they consider someone who is in the service. Can I still file VAWA-based green card during this administration? Absolutely. The more reason why you should file something during this administration, so you're not just without any immigration benefit that is pending. Can an administratively closed asylum case be reopened? Yes, it can. And not only can it be reopened, they actually reopen in the court itself. It's recalendar in some cases, even without a motion to recalendar. You're the only Yoruba woman that I know here in Alabama. Really? Well, I know. Well, because I represented people in Alabama, so I know there are other Yoruba people, primarily in Birmingham and Huntsville area. So now, I'm probably the only Yoruba woman in. I take that back. There's actually a Yoruba doctor, believe it or not, in small town USA, Selma, Alabama. She's one of the physicians in Selma, Alabama. Oh, what is her name? I think it's she something. And if you put in Selma, Alabama, Nigerian doctor there. So yeah, so I know she's Yoruba. Other than that, I think there are quite a number of Nigerians in Alabama. You were surprised. Can I ask a question about Canada? You cannot, because I don't practice immigration law in Canada. I filed I-130 45 since 2022. Still nothing. What should I do? If you've not had any interview, then contact USCIS, contact your senators, ask them to make inquiries on your behalf to see what's going on in your case. If you're applying for asylum and worked legally, will your EAD be approved pending asylum? Yeah, it doesn't, because asylum is a humanitarian relief application, so that's not considered something that's going to bar you from getting your work authorization approved. You're lucky I just answered that, because I was like, because you put your question 20 times, but well. If my wife is pregnant while I submitted my AOS, do I wait till interview to present the evidence? To present what evidence? I'm in Foley and never met any Yoruba here in 5 years. Okay. Foley, I think that is what? Foley is in Baldwin County, right? I have quite a number of clients in Baldwin County area, but they're mainly Caribbeans. So I don't think I have any Nigerian clients in that county. Please do not repeat your questions. You would have been very strict if you were a teacher. No, I just love to follow instructions. I'm a stickler for rules, so that's just me. Still waiting for decision 3 months now for I-7605 category C9. That's not taking long at all. Divorced and remarried here. Which name under should I file my U.S. citizenship for? Divorced and remarried here. Under what name you think you mean should you file your U.S. citizenship on? It depends on the name you want to use. That's a choice you have to make. That's the decision you have to make. Let's see. To present the evidence, medical records of birth certificate. Should you wait? But okay, you're waiting. So you basically, KB, you're just asking if you should like upload it to the under the unsolicited evidence or wait until you're called for an interview. Is that what you're asking me? You just call USCIS. You can, and they can tell you to go upload evidence under your USCIS account. And KB, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. That's a response to your question. And okay, so you can upload it to the unsolicited evidence tab, but also take it with you when you're called for interview. So it doesn't hurt to do it both ways. Okay. I have a question for a cousin. Well, now we're going from sister to cousin and from auntie to uncle. Okay, we received a 10-year green card via VA in 2021, but prior to receiving the green card, USCIS requested for past arrest convictions. CTC, she did not produce it, but still received a green card. She wants to file in for her, but she's scared that they would deny her. Is there a waiver for her since she waited 5 years from the last arrest? First arrest was in 2019 and second was 2000. Waiver for her to do what? Was she was arrested? Was she convicted of anything? Was she convicted of something? If she was convicted of something, then that would have been necessary to let them know that she was in the process of providing that information, which could have been determined whether or not that could have helped to determine whether or not she was going to be found inadmissible. If all she had were arrests and then there was no conviction, then I won't worry much about that. She can produce those records and explain how that went. But if she actually had a conviction that should have been handled before the 10-year green card was issued, even though that was their error, she should have corrected that. So how that's going to play out, I don't know, unless the best thing for your cousin to do is to sit down with an attorney and review her records so they can decide if it's best to apply for citizenship now, if it's best to just wait until the next administration, whatever, depending on what the criminal record shows. I petitioned for my daughter and USCIS approved my petition and was sent to NVC. What is your priority date so I can start the process of my application? What is your status? Are you a citizen or a green card holder? I-45 based on VAWA after interview update to fingerprint where applied. Should I worry about it? Y'all worry too much about a lot of stuff, and that includes me. But I've just learned that worry can change anything. You got to get to the point where you just leave worry where it is and just let God take care of the worry. Should I worry? How long will USCIS, do you think? I cannot speculate to how long USCIS is going to make a decision. She wasn't convicted. It was just a domestic incident. Well, domestic incident can affect your admissibility. So the question still is, hello, Mr. Kovina, how are you? Was she convicted of any crime? And when I say convicted, a lot of people don't know that even if you get something dismissed, if you initially took a plea and then you had to fulfill some conditions, and after the conditions were satisfied or you complied with, it was dismissed, the fact that the case was ultimately dismissed does not change that it was a conviction for immigration purposes. So that's why it's not just about, okay, because people say, yeah, my case was dismissed. Yes, but what did you have to do before it was dismissed? Hello, Evil Proud. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you the other day. You're a U.S. citizen, so there's no waiting priority date to be. There's no we. You're as a okay. You petition for your daughter and approve. Okay. How old is your daughter? Before I tell you that you're not waiting for any priority date. How old is the daughter you filed for? Because that's going to determine if you're waiting or not. And usually the NVC will send you an email to let you know when to start. So FemRaise, how old is your daughter that you're talking about? My NISI was issued April 2023, while Absolute issued July 2023. Outside of the country, in August 2023, I requested both certified true copy from court in November 2024, and the issue with the date. Issue what date? Which of the dates? You've mentioned 4 different dates. So what dates are you talking about? Okay, she's 25, so she's not an immediate relative. So what is her priority? The priority date is going to be it would have it on the if you have the approval notice, FemRaise, your approval notice will state what your priority date is. Because obviously she's preference category. And as a 25-year-old, is she married or unmarried? Because that's going to determine if she's going to be an F1 or F3 category, I think. Let me not see, but I think yeah, F1 is unmarried, sons and daughters of citizen. F3 is going to be married sons and daughters of citizens. So there's a lot of analysis that comes down that will determine. But if the easiest way to know your priority date is it's going to be on your approval notice. It would have your priority date there. Okay. Is there any updates on DACA? What updates are you expecting? What updates as in what? There's really nothing going on the DACA front, but what exactly are you expecting? She had to stay out of trouble for 1 year, and the case was dismissed after that. First offense was a violation for fighting with boyfriend, and next was a misdemeanor for breaking her. Yeah, so that's something that should have been disclosed before she got her green card. And since they issued the green card before she was able to turn that in, yeah. Whether it's going to become an issue or not would depend on. So the good moral character, I don't think that's something that would have made her. So the first one would have been petty offense exemption. How they would have handled the second one, I don't know. Without knowing her history, she's just best sitting down with a lawyer before she files for citizenship, because this is not the time you want to take a gamble and file for citizenship. Not only will, if they deny the citizenship, then they can reopen your entire green card file. Even if it's past the 5-year where they cannot rescind the green card itself, they can always put someone in deportation proceedings. So that, immigration is not just about filing paperwork. We go to law school and have continuing legal education each year on immigration for a reason. What's the time? Okay. I-45 based on vow after interview updates. Fingerprint. Okay. That's the same question that you just asked me. You're the same person who asked that question. So changing your name doesn't mean that I won't know that you're the same person who asked the question. So it's still the same answer. Okay. Let's see. If an I-45 is denied and you decide to file I-360, which is $0, but do you need to pay filing before? So if you are filing, if you're filing the I-45, 760, whatever companion applications you're filing based on the VAWA petition, because I-360 can be used for different things, but based on the VAWA petition, there is no filing fee for VAWA petitioners. Hello, Finest Jenny. Hello, Fialewa. Hi, Queen Khadija. Red is a red day. It's a red kind of day here. This, hey, MTV05, how's the green card live going? Makes me overthink it, not let me enjoy my green card in peace. Enjoy your green card in peace. I'm telling you, just don't, there's nothing you need to overthink. I filed I-45 for myself via my husband. My husband needs to file for our daughter, but we heard of and often qualify for fee waiver. Does this affect my case? I'm not sure I understand your question, Yvonne. How can you find out if your ex-husband divorced you? If it's in the United States, get a family law attorney in that state. If it's outside your country, then you get a family law attorney in that country. Any issue with the dates the certified true copy was collected based on the fact that it's a year after it collected both certified true copy from the court? I have to see what the documents you're talking about, because I can't tell you yes or no whether there's any issue with that in the documents you're talking about. Can I repeat? What did I say? Favor, if you let me. Hey, Alan Gell, how are you? Hello, Mr. Adewale, how are you? Okay. All right. So I think we got through. I just answered that question, that if it's based on a vow, if the I-360 is for a vow petition, then any companion application filed based on that I-360, there is the filing fee for that. Unmarried daughters and U.S. citizen and USCIS approved her petition. The approval date is not the priority date. The priority date is when you filed it. When FemRaise, do you have? I'm assuming you have the approval notice there with you. The approval notice will have the date that it was filed. So the date it was filed, it would either have received date or priority date. Either it would say receive date or priority date. Your initial receipt notice would also have receipt date. So the receipt date basically is your priority date. So whatever dates that was received. So it being approved 2018, because right now they're working on cases F1. So is she here? Is she back home? She's going to apply at the embassy, right? Right? So they're working on cases that were filed, not approved now, filed on or before September 1st, 2017. So if it was approved 2018, then obviously you must have filed it way before then. Okay, so what does the receipt date say, or priority date? It would be on the notice itself, or even on your receipt notice. So that's the date that controls. Have you received a notice from the National Visa Center, like the email? Okay, let's see. Do they forget people's cases when they grant them a work permit? FemRaise, what is no? What did you answer no to? I did my citizenship test a few days ago, and I have 16 years old in another state, and she didn't get hers. She didn't get hers. She didn't get what? What didn't she get? Thank you, Shayi Manuel. Appreciate that. I filed about I-45 a month ago. How long it'll take to send the receipt notice letter? It's taken anywhere up to 3 months, Mohammed. So don't be surprised if you're still waiting. till, so a month ago was April. If you're still waiting till June because even July, for whatever reason, that's how long it's taking them. She doesn't live with you. Okay. So they didn't send her what? What wasn't she sent is what I'm trying to figure out. Can my 11-year-old daughter, can my 11 years old, your daughter to a U.S. citizen parent file I-130 and I-45 waiver because she has been receiving Medicaid benefits? Can my 11 years old daughter to a U.S. citizen parent file? She's not filing an I-130. The parent is the one filing an I-130. But if she's, let me put it, I don't file waivers until they tell me that my client needs a waiver. So there's no reason why you should anticipate that she's done something wrong until and unless they say she's done something wrong. So let her file the I-130, or the U.S. citizen parent files the I-130, she files the I-45. And if they say, you're welcome, Favor, he's good to see you as well, Mr. Diwali. If they say she needs a waiver, then deal with it at that point. I just don't do that unless you already know. For instance, if you found another case previously and it was denied based on being found inadmissible based on one of the grounds of inadmissibility, then that's different. But if you haven't been found, because sometimes you may be able to argue that you're not inadmissible based on that ground. So why say you are when they have not alleged that you are? Do I need to mention another relationship in my VAW application? We have a baby born in this relationship. What do you mean? Do you need to mention another relationship in VAW application? I'm not sure I understand. Filed I-140 since I filed for I-140 since 259. What's 259? I've not received. I-140. You don't get biometrics for I-140. Do you mean I-130? I-45? Can too many speeding tickets affect your N400? Absolutely. Absolutely. I've seen that happen. Yes. Mention another relationship of our. We have a baby. The relationship is relevant to your VAW petition, but your child is to be listed where they ask for your relatives. But as long as you don't get married until the VAW is approved, then that's all you need to do. I hope that answers your question. Okay. All right, y'all. I think we answered quite a bit of questions. Yeah, MTV05_. Please go enjoy your green card status. Don't let this. Do I need to inform the USCs of this new relationship? No, you do not. Why? Why y'all just worry too much. If you ain't broke, don't fix it. All right. So okay. There is no. You're not getting there's no biometric schedule for an I-140 unless you mean that you submitted an I-45, which is a green card application concurrently with it. That's the only basis why you're going to get. There's no biometric schedule for an I-140 petition. Is that what you mean? So, and if you did not do premium processing. Okay, so it's I-45 you're talking about. I mean, they control when they schedule for fingerprinting. But if you didn't do premium processing, then it's probably still within the normal processing time. It shouldn't take them that long to schedule biometrics, but they may not schedule anything until your I-140 has been approved. So, yeah, so they may just be waiting. No I-1. I'm confused about what you said. No I-140. You just said you submitted an I-140 extraordinary ability. So what do you mean no I-140? Okay. Okay, her priority date is March 12th. All right, so February's, because what you said earlier on is you said they approved. This is what I'm going to put it on screen. Right? You said USCIS approved her petition on March 10, 2018. Approval date is not the same as priority date. Priority date is the date it was filed. Not approval date is not the date it was filed. So if their priority date is 3/12/2018, then it probably was just approved not too long ago. But without seeing, if I saw what if I saw what you're looking at, then I'll be able to tell you exactly what the priority date. But if it says it on the priority on the receipt number notice or the approval notice, then that priority date is not the same as the approval date, unless it is received and approved the same day. All right, thank you. All right, everybody, thank you for joining. Always, always, always. Let's listen, y'all. We need to pray because we have people who were pregnant. We have people who are pregnant and undocumented. Just pray that we're all waiting on pins and needles to see what the Supreme Court is going to do. Hopefully, they're not going to change something that has been in existence for centuries, over a century, and just because somebody put people in power, they just feel they can undo what has been done. I don't even know what to say, but I just know one thing, that whatever it is that's going to inconvenience us, it's just not going to work. There's no one who's going to displace us from what God has destined for us. Whatever he has in stock for us is going to find us. So whatever laws have to be changed on our behalf, that's what God is going to do. Things may look, to be in one direction, but when God steps in on our behalf, there's nothing he cannot turn around. There's no law he cannot break. There's no law he cannot undo. There's nothing that cannot be changed just so that we can be shown favor. So regardless of what group of men and women come together to decide, it doesn't trump, no pun intended, it doesn't trump God's intention for us and his expectation and his plans for our lives. There's nothing that can change that, because Jeremiah 29:11 is very, very clear. There's that expected and has to be what God has planned. So I know there's a lot of worries. It's, people cannot even enjoy. People who are citizens are even afraid to travel. But he hasn't given us a spirit of fear, but of love, of power, and sound mind. We are going to be triumphant at the end of the day. Just take the letter, send it to me. Yeah, so you may want to just have a consultation with a lawyer until you're very sure what you need to do. So we are going to be triumphant. We're going to be open. We are overcomers, and we are going to succeed at the end of the day. We would have our testimony last. So just hold on. Just hold on. Don't give up. That's the worst you can do, is to give up at this time. But if God hasn't given up and he's still working on your behalf, then you have no business giving up. So y'all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.